Hey there, y'all. Welcome back to another Tim Talks Christian Rock. Tim Risto here. Hope you're having a great day, and may God bless your day going forward from here. If you get a chance, give this video a like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and feel free to comment down below. I love to engage with y'all in the comments as much as possible. Yes, I have new shades on today. I left my other shades in my wife's car and failed to get them out before she left for work. So you get a new look for the day. But I did want to take a look at this article over at Christian Post that dropped here just recently. Unless you've been living under a rock as far as Christian rock music news goes, you probably are already familiar with this news. But Michael Tait, the lead singer, lead vocalist for the Christian rock band Newsboys, has left the band. And he left the band with about 4 days left before their new tour was about to begin. So the band was left kind of scrambling in a little bit of chaos, trying to recoup, recover, and move forward with the tour and with upcoming albums as well too. And of course, it sent a little bit of shockwaves to the Christian music industry too, saying what's going on, what's up with Michael. So the news has been out for a little bit. I wanted to go ahead and wait until a little more info dropped, which this article offers a little bit more, rather than sharing just kind of incendiary news. I kind of wanted to have a little bit more depth to it. This offers a little bit more, so I thought it'd be good to take a look at it at this point in time rather than when the news just broke. So let's hop on over to ChristianPost.com. We'll take a look at this article. So this is at ChristianPost.com by Leah Marie Ann Klett, the assistant editor there. This article dropped actually just yesterday as of the day of this recording, Wednesday, February 12th. The headline here reads, Newsboys lead singer says Michael Tait's vocals erased from new song following sudden exit. Scrambling. Now, of course, that always sounds a little bit, I don't know, kind of controversial and stuff like that. They're scrambling to obviously recover from Tait's exit. But, let's all temper this a little bit. Let's kind of find out what's going on here. Obviously, anytime something sudden happens, you have to kind of manage what happens. But don't immediately want to villainize Michael Tait in this because I don't know all the full reasons. Even this article only hints at a few things. So, let's be careful about who we're villainizing and what we're kind of doing here. Obviously, it puts the Newsboys in a little bit of a difficult position, and things happened quickly. But let's explore this a little more first. There's Michael Tait. Here the article starts out and says, in a stunning turn of events for one of Christian music's most enduring bands, Newsboys were forced to re-record lead vocals for their latest single and upcoming album after longtime frontman Michael Tait unexpectedly stepped down just weeks before the launch of their worldwide Revival Nights tour. New lead singer Adam Agee has revealed. Tait, who led the band for 15 years following Peter Furler's departure in 2009, announced his decision to step away in a January social media post, citing prayerful reflection and a sense of clarity in this new season of life. Obviously, it's something that he expresses having prayerfully considered. Does this mean that there was necessarily a lot of, conflict between the members of the band or anything like that? Not necessarily. Again, the suddenness of this calls into question that probably there was something going on, but again, we just don't know. And it's something that, Michael says he approached prayerfully. So he went to God, and evaluating this decision. So we got to take that into account too. The departure left Newsboys scrambling to adapt, ultimately turning to Agee, the band's guitarist who joined the group in 2023, to step into the lead singer role. I've been touring with these guys. I've known them for 20 years and then touring with them for about 10, and then officially in the band going on my 3rd year, Agee said in a Monday interview. And then, Tait kind of surprised us with some news about a month ago, and we had the beginning of our tour in about 4 days. So we kind of rallied together and tried to figure out what we were going to do moving forward. So there he talks about it being quite a surprise to the rest of the band. So again, something sudden, obviously, but something that Tait obviously felt compelled to do through prayer, but something that the rest of the band was not expecting. One of the immediate challenges was re-recording vocals for their latest single, How Many Times, which was originally recorded with Tait leading. The single, now featuring Agee's vocals, was re-released just in time for the tour. Now, of course, that's going to be something I'm sure in time will be sought after. People want the Tait version of the song and the Agee version of the song. You're going to try and track all those down. I don't know if the Tait version had already been released or not, but probably people wanted to compare the versions of the song with the different vocals on it in time. I'm sure that'll become something much sought after. That was one of the things that we've been scrambling to try to figure out and get done, AG explained. It's actually a song that was one of the first songs I wrote for this Newsboys project a couple of years ago, and finally it's getting released. But I had sung a bunch of background vocals on everything on there, but I hadn't done the lead vocals, so we popped back into the studio and got that done real quick. The uncertainty extends beyond just the single AG shared, revealing Newsboys had planned to release Worldwide Revival Part 2 later this year, but with the shakeup in leadership, the band is reevaluating its next steps. It's all kind of as we go. We're trying to figure out what to do, AG said. We were going to release a Part 2 of this Worldwide Revival album, and so we're trying to figure out, do we still do that, or do we do something different? So that's kind of all just in flux right now. Despite the uncertainty, the band pressed forward with their first show on January 18th, featuring AG as lead singer just days after Tait's departure. The response, according to AG, was overwhelming. It was just a sweet thing. The crowd really rallied around us, he recalled, and it was just an amazing night. There were 2,000 people in this arena, and it felt like 10,000 people singing along with all the songs. It was pretty special. I mean, not going to lie. For me to be able to front the band that I had their posters on our wall when I was a kid, it's pretty cool. AG, formerly of Stellar Cart and Audio Adrenaline, becomes the 4th lead singer in Newsboys history. At the January show, AG told the crowd, "We've been through a lot this week." When the news hit us a week ago, he said it brings up a lot of questions, like, what do we do? Do we move forward? Those thoughts come into your head, man. Should we hang it up, or do we keep going? I want to tell you guys something, that with this band, with Newsboys, sometimes the messenger might change, but the message remains the same. That is kind of cool that, number one, he got such support from the crowd, which they probably didn't have much notice either, that Tait wouldn't be there for the show that they showed up for, and yet they were supportive. That's one of the things I like about Christian music too. I think by and large, many of the fans are very supportive because of that Christian focus, that there's a level of forgiveness, there's a level of grace that is bestowed upon the band by the fans in many cases. I know some can be not so gracious, but many that are obviously very grace-filled in their approach to bands when unexpected things like this happen. And so it's good to hear that that was the response. Regardless of what the situation is, regardless of what pans out in this whole thing, it's nice to know that people were supportive of a band that's been around for a long time. It's been a big part of Christian rock history, and are able to offer them some grace when things change unexpectedly like this. And it's cool, too, that AG, who was a fan of the band, now unexpectedly is fronting the band. So interesting perspective for him to share about that as well. Let's hop down here for a minute where it says, in his January statement, Tait, who was part of the rap rock group DC Talk prior to his stint with Newsboys, said his decision to leave was not an easy one. While this may come as a surprise given I've been touring ever since college, I've made for me what is a monumental and heartfelt decision. That it is time to step down from Newsboys, he shared. This decision does not come lightly and has been a shock to even myself. But amidst prayer and fasting, I have clarity that this is the right decision. Also says here, at the time, the band released a statement saying that they aren't going anywhere. So, again, I mean, a lot of unknowns yet, but it seems to be something that happened rather suddenly, obviously, or very quickly. Michael Tait feels compelled to do. He went prayerfully to God about it and seems pretty decisive in it. I don't have any insight as to what it is. Maybe some of you all do if you're in the industry. Any friends of Michael Tait might know a little bit more details about that. But obviously a pretty big thing. Now, he's been with the band for a while. The Newsboys arguably are not as popular in this iteration of the band as they were, in the Pete Furler version of it or before. But nevertheless, they've been able to carry on successfully and put out some good albums as well, and continued to proclaim the gospel message through those albums, through their music, through the songs, and through their performances as well too. So, I don't know what's going on. Bands go through all sorts of changes. Tait, maybe he's feeling a little long in the tooth. Maybe he feels he wants to transition to something else. Maybe he feels God leading him in another direction. And again, sometimes those are good things for the band when a vocalist or a writer or lead guitarist or someone that's really significant in the sound or direction of the band moves on. It opens up the opportunities for the band to carry on in new and oftentimes very exciting ways. There may be a period of transition in there, but it often works out really well. You know, whether AG continues to be that front person now here, whether he's just temporary, I don't know. We'll have to really see going forward. I think about, of course, Petra, which started out very humbly. Then Greg X. Waltz kind of slowly moved into the lead singer position, and then was there for 4, 5, 6 albums, whatever that was. He left, in what was a much touted departure. John Schlitt comes in and fills in for him, and ends up being the lead vocalist for still today is with Petra as the lead vocalist of the band. So things transition a lot of times. There's lots of examples in not only Christian music, but of course regular mainstream bands as well. So these are oftentimes opportunities for both the individual who's departing to go on to other things, to grow both in their career and their faith walk, all sorts of different ways, and also opportunities for the band to reinvent themselves, to do new things, to do fresh things, for God to take them in new and different and fresh directions as well too. So anyway, just wanted to take a look at this a little bit. I think there was a few little nuggets in here. I mean, the whole thing about re-recording the single is interesting. Again, I suspect you're going to have two singles out there that will be much wanted by Newsboys fans to compare the Tait version versus the AG version. But we'll have to see what's going to happen with the Newsboys going forward. I'm sure they'll recover. They seem pretty well, dedicated to continuing to move forward. They've been a band that has been around for a long time and seem committed to doing so. Again, it's both the music for them, but obviously also the ministry too. And when you've got that as your focus, it's more than just something that's entertaining. It's something that has a purpose behind it and a ministry aspect behind it. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. Be curious to hear what you all think. If y'all have any added insights or just have some interesting comments to make about this, be curious to hear. Keep it nice. Again, we don't know a lot of details yet about the reasoning behind Tait's departure, but again, as noted in the article here, he did make this decision after some prayer. So we have to respect that and probably recognize that there's something, very heartfelt with him, a decision that he took before God to make before making it, even though it was sudden. Obviously something that he feels committed to doing. One thing I have to say is I think kind of unique for us as Christians, fans of Christian rock music, that we have an opportunity to hit our knees here in situations like this, to pray for both Michael Tait and the Newsboys band themselves as well. Opportunity to just lift them up in prayer. We don't know all the details. We may not ever, who knows, or details may come out more so in the weeks and months ahead, but we just use this as an opportunity to say, dear Lord, please just keep them in your constant care, that they may be able to heal from, whatever's going on here with the band, be able to carry on, that each of their respective ministries, be able to carry on, and that their faith lives will continue as well. So good opportunity here to do that, if nothing else, to lift them all up in prayer at a time like this. Love to hear your comments down below. Feel free to leave them and let me know what you think. Otherwise, go out and have a great rest of your day, y'all. Go out and listen to some great Christian rock. Make it some Newsboys today. But above all else, remember, stay in God's Word. See you next time. Bye-bye.